All right, that does seem to be the clearest signal yet from the White House. They're going to ask for a little bit of help from Saudi Arabia to open up the spigot more than they already have and help bring down these energy prices. It's the ultimate irony to my next guest, the American Petroleum Institute CEO, Mike Sommers, who says we have plenty of that stuff here and we don't need to be going hat in hand to them over there. Mike, it's good to have you back, but apparently that will be part of the strategy to try to get the Saudis to help a little more. What do you make of it?
Well, look, Saudi Arabia is a key energy partner for the world. And we need absolutely for this country to be working with Saudi to get more production going. What's unfortunate, Neil, is that this country really should be focused on producing here in the United States, not begging foreign regimes for more oil from their countries. In fact, the American Petroleum Institute, along with a bunch of other organizations, recently wrote a letter to the president begging him to come visit oil and gas infrastructure here in the United States before he goes to Riyadh. We should be asking Midland, Texas to be producing more, not Riyadh, Saudi Arabia.
Nevertheless, we are looking at alternatives from pretty much any country but our own. It doesn't look like the administration is easing up on the rhetoric that your industry has not taken advantage of leases, permits it already has. You've heard this argument before, but the administration keeps pounding it. How do you answer that you're sitting on all this money you're making at an Exxon that it will come off probably an $18 billion profit this quarter and saying share the loot?
Well, I think, as you know, Neil, this industry is investing now to produce more oil and gas here in the United States. But what the real problem that we have right now is a schizophrenic energy policy from the United States, particularly from the president, who on one hand is saying that we need to produce more here. On the other hand, they're saying that this industry shouldn't even be around 5 years from now. These are long-term investments that API member companies make every single day. And we're not going to be making these investments unless we have policies that support continued advancement of this industry in the United States. And the right signal to send to American oil and gas producers now is for the President of the United States to visit Midland, Texas, or the Marcellus Shale in Pennsylvania, or North Dakota, and emphasize the importance of the investment here in the United States for stable supplies for decades and decades to come.
In the meantime, what's interesting here is, I think this is 27 straight days where gas prices are declining. And I'm wondering why that is. Now, some cynically could look at it, well, it was because the economy's slowing, and so is demand as a result. And it has nothing to do with any of the other stuff you mentioned.
Well, what you're also seeing is increased supply from the United States. We expect about 800,000 more barrels of oil to come on every single day over the course of this year alone. And that's with this administration continuing to work against the industry from a policy perspective. So the industry is responding. We're putting more supplies on the market every single day.
So
we're going to continue to do that.
I'm sorry, this decline then of 30 cents a gallon roughly in that time, you expect that to continue, or will summer demand start heating up and reverse that?
Well, we need to continue to produce more here in the United States. We also need to get more refining capacity. Our refineries are actually operating right now at historically high levels to meet the demand of American consumers. We are concerned about economic prospects and increased inflation and what that could mean and pushing us into a recession, which could mean lower demand for these products. But American producers are ready to perform. They're ready to produce more for American consumers. But we need the right signals from policymakers now to make these investments for the future.